Hello there, this is Bunny from 501 Squadron ACG. This tutorial is for the Hurricane Mark 1 Rotol 100 octane typical takeoff procedure that we follow in formation takeoff. The main difference today is going to be the use of the boost cutout to warm the engine up quicker than you would do normally just sitting there waiting for the oil temperature down there, which currently reads 14, to get to 40. I'm going to use shortcuts for some of these controls, some of which are pre-existing and default and some of which I've chosen myself. So to avoid confusion, I'll just let you know which control I'm going to use, and then you can make the right choice yourself as to how you do it. Right, the procedure starts by turning on the fuel cock, turning boost cutout on, pushing the throttle forwards to the slider's about 10-15% up from the bottom, and then I for ignition. Now the temperature has to get to 40 degrees. Typically you'd sit here and wait for that to happen. First, just going to set the convergence distance to 200 yards. And we'll set the wingspan to 32 feet. That's the 109, your biggest enemy. Turn the reticule light on and open the cockpit, because I like to get a good view on takeoff. We could also lean outside the plane to get a better view front and back. As I said, typically you sit here and wait for that oil temperature to go to 40, but instead we're going to use the throttle. With the boost cutout on, we can throttle forwards to 100%, and the plane will go past the stumbles you usually get and move. So we're using the throttle to go at a steady speed. As you can see, the oil's now at 40 degrees, so we're going to open the radiators up. That's the blue slider. It's also the lever to the left of the chair. So taxiing to the end of the runway. Now some commanding officers like you taking off with boost cutout on, some like it off. So I'm going to choose off for this instance. Now it's served its purpose of warming the engine up quickly, we'll turn it off. Let's swing around to the end of the runway. If you hold the brake key down, you can actually turn on the spot if you want to. So we'll assume a position here as if we're waiting for the rest of the flight. Throttle's down. Whilst we're here, we'll get the flaps set. On formation takeoff, we tend to set the flaps to 20 degrees. That means we've all got the same flaps. It means we all take off roughly at the same time if we all start throttling at the same time. We use these positions here, up and down. I suggest you bind those to keys. You'll get the idea when I work this. Click once, it engages the button. Click again and the flap indicator will slide down. When it's at 20, we click up here and it stops it. To go back up, we just click there and we stop it. So back down again, that's 20 degrees. Right. We'll assume we've been given clearance for takeoff. So push the throttle forwards gently until 100%. Use the rudder to keep the plane nice and trim. The nose will want to push down. It won't go so far that you nose over. It won't go down quite far enough. So just give it a little nudge just to get above horizon. 100 miles an hour is enough to pull back. Once up, G for gear, up. So undercarriage is now up. and get the flaps up, landing flaps now up. We'll lower the prop pitch to about 80%, so slightly coarser, and as the plane builds up speed, she'll want to nose up slightly, so we need to use our nose trim. That's that wooden wheel there, again set to keys to stop it from rising. It's always good practice to trim her out just after you've taken off. You also do tend to get a bit of side slip on Hurricane. This is not too bad at the moment. It always pulls to the right for some reason. And that's a typical takeoff.